Hi everyone, Elite Assassin here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the difference between Overwatch and Battleborn. I've seen a lot of discussion online where people might be a little bit confused as to what is the difference between each game and what each game brings to the table. I've also seen people saying, well, if they don't like Overwatch, they won't like Battleborn, or vice versa, which I don't believe to be true at all, as these are two very, very different games. Now, on the surface, they look very similar, and if you don't do research into how these games play, I can see people being confused about it. But in the end, like I said, these games couldn't be any more different. And for my personal opinion, I actually really enjoyed both games. I didn't think I was going to enjoy Battleborn that much, but after playing the beta, I actually ended up buying it. So that's just my 2 cents. I think both games are actually worth buying. Now I'll start off with Overwatch, and I'm going to go through each game, give a basic idea of what their gameplay is like, and what content they have, so you can have an idea of what you're buying. Now Overwatch, the beta just ended recently, and I know a lot of people had a lot of fun, myself included. And when you look at Overwatch from a content perspective, it's a little bit scary, I'm not going to lie to you. Overwatch is made by Blizzard, and having faith in Blizzard and that they will release good, consistent content updates is really what you have to go off if you're going to buy this game and have it for a solid, long-time investment. Because when you buy the game, you're guaranteed all of the maps and heroes to come, as long as I believe you buy the Origins Edition. I might be wrong, it might come with the $40 standard PC edition, but I'm not 100%, so don't quote me on that. Also, going on that, if you have PC, you can either buy a $40 standard edition like I just said, or the $60 Origin Edition. And if you're buying PS4 and Xbox One, you just have the option of the $60 Origins Edition. So basically, it's standard price you pay for any other game, basically. Now, like I say, content-wise, it's a little bit on the... So I don't know if it's short on content per se, but it definitely doesn't have as much as some other games that have come out recently. And, you know, like with Titanfall being a multiplayer-only game, it's a little bit of a scary thing at this point. So, what can you expect from the content? Well, you have 21 heroes, all unlocked from the get-go, so you can try any hero anytime you want. You have a quick match, private match, training, and I believe you also have a random hero kind of like special playlist there. You have a hero gallery where you can look at your heroes, and in there each hero has a bunch of different skins, emotes, sayings, tags, stances, and play the game like cinematics that you can unlock. These are not unlocked through character progression though. There is no character progression system. So it doesn't matter how much you use Genji, you don't get anything toward Genji for using him. Which is one thing that's a little bit disappointing. Instead, each of these can be bought with an in-game currency that you get through, I believe you get through loot boxes, which I was getting to next. And loot boxes are given to you whenever you level up. I don't know if there's a level cap. I don't believe there is. It's really bad. Especially considering loot boxes is basically how you get things unlocked. And you get a loot box leveling up. When you open it, you get this really cool cinematic. And then you get, I believe, like 5 or 6 things of different rarity. You'll get like I said, the tags, the emotes, skins, and possibly currency to buy whichever one you want. So it's all basically a random unlock system, which, you know, some people enjoy, some people don't. So just know about that. Also, like I said, there's that progression, like level progression, but there's nothing specifically gained at certain levels. You just get loot boxes. Like I said, also there's no single-player campaign. The story of Overwatch is basically told through a series of online comics and shorts, which I definitely recommend looking into. I believe they're all on Blizzard.com, and the animations, the shorts, are really great quality, almost like a Pixar movie, and they're very interesting, so I definitely would recommend going and checking those out. It is a shame there is no single-player content, I believe, in the works, or with this game, so just know there's no non-competitive multiplayer content in this game. So if you go in and buy it and think, hey, where's my single-player, or my co-op, versus bot or something, there really isn't. You could play against bots as kind of like a training mode. If you've ever played Smite, there's versus AI that you could do. It's kind of like that. or like any MOBA type game type where you can just go and play versus bots to kind of get a hang of it. There's that, but that's really about it. And overall, on the gameplay side, this game is very fast-paced, and it's very, very enjoyable. Now, like I said, when you have the 21 heroes, when you start off, you pick a hero. The pick screen is very nice because it'll tell you what kind of balance your team has and kind of help you get a more balanced team, which is very important to the game. When you get into the game, if you want to change your hero on the fly, you can. You're not locked into the hero you choose. And this is also very important because a big part of the strategy of Overwatch is making sure you counter the heroes your enemy team has. You'll find some heroes do better than others against other ones. Some do better on certain maps than others. Some do better on certain game types. So you just kind of have to know how the game flows, and you'll learn that just through playing. When it comes to actually playing the game, your heroes will start with a primary attack, a secondary attack or zoom ability, and they will have 2 abilities. Basically, one, I believe, technically rule of thumb, I think it looks as one's offensive, one's more of support. It really depends on the hero, though. If you have a healer, they always have an offensive ability. And then you have an ultimate ability. And the ultimate ability is available from the start, but you have to build it up through basically damaging other players, getting kills, moving the objective, stuff like that. So you'll have supers and ultimates come up every now and then. They're not too intrusive, and all of them seem pretty well balanced. There's some characters that people will probably complain about, which is understandable, like, well, what is his name? I forget right now. But the super is High Noon. It's the cowboy guy, and I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. But his can seem a little bit cheap, and so can Soldier 76's. But no, they are pretty decently balanced, and they all have counters if you know how to work around them. You know, how all these abilities work together really adds the depth to this game, and it is a very fun game, and one that I could see people playing for a long time. It just depends if you're okay taking that risk of, you know, the content being consistent, and hopefully you won't get just bored of what the game has to offer. It seems like map-wise, there's around 8 to 10 maps, it looks like to me, just from playing the beta, so it looks like there's a pretty decent amount on launch. Overall, I think you'll like this game if you like Team Fortress 2, that's the closest comparison. And compared to Battleborn, this game is a little more fast-paced. Alright, moving on to Battleborn, because I blabbed way too much there on Overwatch. Battleborn is also a 5v5 hero shooter, which both games can basically be classified as. The main difference is that this game has a campaign. Now, I've been hearing this campaign is kind of blah. I haven't had too much time to play it myself. And you do have to play a campaign mission before you can do anything called the prologue. So that was a little bit jarring at first, I gotta admit. That's about like 15 minutes long, give or take. Starts off with a very interesting, stylish, animated cutscene, which I wonder if they'll have throughout the game. And if they do, they're pretty neat. It's definitely its own unique style. And afterwards, you're open to do whatever you want. Like, there's a campaign that can be played either single player or co-op with up to 4 other people. So it's 5-person co-op. And then you have the main bulk of the game, which is the multiplayer. And this game plays more like a MOBA shooter. So that's what you can kind of expect. It's a little bit more of a slow-paced game, especially if you go for the 2 game types of Incursion and Meltdown. Now, in terms of content, each game type has 2 maps, which only brings a grand total of 6 maps to the game, which is a little bit of a worrisome there. Also, there are 25 heroes. However, you only have 5 to start with. You have to go through and unlock all the heroes, either through leveling up your commander rank, which is basically like Overwatch's just overall rank, or doing specific missions, which you'll be able to see in the Command Center tab as to how to unlock each character. So that's kind of neat. So if you play as, say, the character I like playing as, Orendi, and you win 5 matches as her, and her faction is called the Rogues, you will unlock Toby, a penguin in a mech suit. Or some characters might have beat certain campaign missions, or get a certain amount of kills, you know, online. Stuff like that. So it is very interesting, and it brings a variety of ways to unlock the characters. When it comes to characters, you can unlock a variety of different things, and this is where the game also differs from Overwatch, because there is character progression. Each character has a rank from 1 to 15, and as you rank up that character, you will unlock skins, taunts, and I believe you'll also unlock rare equipment for them as well. They also have lore challenges, which are things that you can do, and once you do, you unlock a little bit of story about them. They'll also unlock skins and taunts, and each character also has a bunch of challenges for them besides just the lore challenges. So it's pretty interesting. Each character has a lot to do, so if you want to go through and unlock everything for every character, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to unlock, and it's all progression. You can see how you're doing it. There also is a loadout system that unlocks level 3. Where people are going, oh god, loadouts, oh no. And yes, it's a bit worrisome to me, but so far they seem pretty good. Basically, you get battle packs for leveling up your commander rank, your character rank, beating certain challenges, and you also get in-game currency to buy them with in a in-game shop. When you have a battle pack and you open it, you will get, I believe, 3 or 4 items that you can put into your loadout. And these items can do very different things. They can increase your movement speed, they can increase your shield penetration, they can increase your damage, they can increase your health regen, they can increase how much you heal. And sometimes the better ones will have a negative effect, like you heal 5% more damage or 5% faster, but you do 5% less damage. And you just kind of have to manage, what things you want on your loadouts. And these loadouts can only be edited after matches or in the searching screen. So once you're in a match, your loadouts are set. You only have a certain amount of loadouts. So really, you have to have like a DPS loadout and a healing loadout or a tank loadout, depending on what kind of characters you like to play. So it adds a bit of strategy to it. And they're not overpowered because you have to collect shards on the map and collect a certain amount of them to activate them mid-match. So you don't have all these abilities from the get-go. You have to grind them out to get them in match. So also, when you're setting up your abilities and your loadouts, it's important to see their shard cost to make sure you have ones that you could do early, mid, and late game. So that's really the bulk of the content in Battleborn. Now, when it comes to gameplay, it does kind of compare to Overwatch in the fact that your characters have, sorry, I don't know why I said fact twice. They have a primary attack, a secondary attack or zoom, and they also have 2 abilities and an ultimate ability. The difference is the ultimate ability is not unlocked at the get-go. You have to wait till your character levels up to level 5. This is also another big difference between the games. While in match, your character will level up after getting a certain amount of experience from doing the objective or killing enemies, building turrets, depending on what game type you're in. Characters will level up and you'll get a 2-sided helix tree. In every level, you can choose one of 2 options. 3 if your character rank is high enough, and in your command center you can see where the mutations lie. You can get 3 options. I believe there's 4 places for each character they'll have 3 options. And basically what these options do is they will change how certain moves work or give you buffs. Like, for example, with Randy, her ability Nullify can either blind people close or push them back. You'll see in this match I'm playing here, my Randy pushes people back. The one that I'm playing against blinds people. She made her Nullify blind. So it's neat. It allows for character diversity. You can build your character depending on how you want, depending on the game type, depending on the map. And it really adds to a bunch of diversity in gameplay. And it's pretty cool. I really enjoy it. Also, like I said, on the maps, there'll be shards, which can be used to build turrets, speed stations, health stations on the map, and are also used to power up your equipment once you get enough of them. So they're very important to farm. They spawn in pretty regular intervals, with there being little tiny ones on the ground, and bigger ones that spawn, I believe, every 2 minutes, in certain locations on the map. And you have to kind of learn where they spawn. They don't announce them. Also, depending on the game type, this is more important than others. When it comes to game types, also there's 3, like I said before. One is more of a domination style, where it's just 5v5, player versus player. And there's A, B, and C hill, and you hold the hills, gain points, first to 1,000 wins. Pretty basic, but better if you don't enjoy there being AI on the map. Then you have Incursion, which is a standard MOBA type mode. Like I said, there's also 2 maps on this. And the one map I've only played so far is a single lane that you have 2 sentries, and once you destroy your enemy's 2 sentries, you win. There are also mobs on the map that you can beat and lure to your side, and both sides have minion waves that they help go and attack the other sentries. It's all about map control. If you play MOBA, you will understand it once you get into it, and these are definitely the longest game types, I believe, in the game. This is really where you want equipment for late game, because you will be at the max level by this game if it goes throughout. And I've definitely seen these have been one-sided, so hopefully I can play more and see how that works. Also, one thing I've noticed, team balance in this game, it's not really balanced. I just started playing yesterday, and damn, was I playing at level 30s and stuff, so one thing, the game isn't balanced matchmaking-wise, so that's one thing I hope to see changed. And the last game type is Meltdown. It is a 2-lane game type where you're trying to get your minion wave into grinders on the other side of the map. While defending your minion wave, you have to stop your enemy's minion wave from getting there. So it's a little bit different. It's still kind of MOBA-esque, but a little bit different. Definitely a fun time, but you have to make sure you're focusing on the objective, because I notice a lot of times teammates are not. And after halfway through the match, the minion wave, the grinders that you were using will be destroyed, and you'll have to go to ones further on the enemy side of the map, making it even harder. First to 500 points wins, I believe. Maybe 1,000. I don't know. It's been a little while, so I apologize about that. But just know halfway, the grinders will change position. So, like I said, if you like MOBAs, you'll probably like this game. Now, I'm sorry if I talked your heads off, and hopefully you guys can understand where I was coming from when it comes to these game types and these two, difference between these two games. They're not very similar. One, Overwatch, plays more like a Team Fortress 2 and a little bit faster. You will like it if you like faster-paced games. However, you have the worry of content and the game getting old fast. Whereas you have Battleborn, which has tons of unlockables, which will keep some people playing for a while, but doesn't have the map variety for each game type. It only has 2 per game type. It's also more people who like MOBAs. Though the domination-style game type definitely feels different, so it feels more like a normal player versus player game type. And maybe if you don't like MOBAs, you can maybe main that game type. So, hopefully you learned something from this video. Hopefully you've learned the difference between these two games. Hopefully you've seen these games aren't, copy-paste of each other. It is unfortunate these two are coming out so close to each other, which really is making people choose between the two of them. Both these games were announced fairly decent time period apart, so it's kind of sad they both get lumped together, and, you might miss out on one or the other, or you might decide to pass on both, but, hopefully you don't. Take it from me, either of these two games is worth trying out, and they're both definitely fun. So you can expect to see probably content from both of them on my channel when Overwatch launches, and I'm sure I'll have more Battleborn gameplay coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, there'll be more Halo content. It's coming. I'm sorry I've been so inactive recently, but I'm trying to find time to make more commentaries. So, hopefully I'll have one out later this week for you guys. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.